What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and we're going to be doing a champion spotlight today on Norog. Norog is a legendary Skinwalker champion. He's actually the second legendary I ever pulled on my account, and in my opinion, he is one of the better legendary champions in this game, and he's a champion that not a lot of people talk about anymore. I guess he's an older champion. They're putting out so many new champions, so many fusions these days, but his kit is absolutely amazing. I'm surprised more people don't talk about him. He's probably one of the top 2 legendaries in the Skinwalker faction, and in my opinion, he's a top legendary overall. But we're going to take a look at his kit. We're going to go do some arena with him, jump into some dungeons, and just in general talk about why I think he is a great champion. Now, first off, he just looks cool. As soon as I pulled him, I was thinking of Bebop and Rocksteady from the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. But he's got that Roman centurion look kind of going on with him. He's got the cool shield and the big mace with the spikes on it and the giant mohawk. So really great looking champion overall. But let's go ahead and we'll go into his kit first, go over that real quick, and I'll kind of tell you guys a little bit about how I have him built and where I use him. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this is because when I pulled this champion, I could not find a guide anywhere on how to build him, on how to use him, because he just seemed like he was really solid, but no one really seemed to have any information on him out there. So figured I'd bring this to light. Plus there were a lot of people in Twitch chat where I mod for Layla. They were asking about this guy. I was bringing him up quite a bit when people were asking about champions, so thought I'd just do a guide, not really a guide, but a champion spotlight to kind of talk about him a little bit. So let's get into it. His A1 is Maul. It attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a block cooldown skills debuff for 1 turn, and the damage is based on defense. This is an amazing ability, as you will see in some of the arena footage we have coming up of him going in Gold 4 and just constantly blocking people's cooldown skills. It's great against revivers. It's just great in general in any type of content you're using to be able to block someone's cooldown skills. His A2 is Ice Pillar, which attacks all enemies, places a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. Damage is based again on defense. This is an amazing ability. This is great pretty much everywhere. Great in dungeon mobs, amazing in the arena. You can use this, as you'll see. Mainly the reason I use this is to kind of block the buffs that people like Duchess will put out. In order to do that, you'll see how I have him built here in just a second. But amazing A2 there. And then he has this Thick Skin passive. He's immune to stun, freeze, and sleep debuffs. Decreases the damage taken by all allies that are under 1 or more buffs by 15%. And decreases the damage taken by all allies that are under no active buffs by 25%. So he's going to be a tank with this passive. He's going to keep your allies from taking a lot of damage. And he's immune to stun, freeze, and sleep. So that means you can use him against Siphi in the arena, you can use him against Torment in the arena, and you can also use him in the clan boss. And if you tune him properly, you can tune him to take the stun from the clan boss, and he's immune to that, so it won't even affect him. So absolutely amazing champion, great kit, and to top it all off, he has an increased allied defense in dungeons by 40%. And he is a defense-based champion, so that also benefits him. This is a really great aura for if you're early in game, mid in the game. Defense, more of it always helps you out in the dungeons, and especially if you want to pair him with other defensive champions, like say Scylla the Drakes or Iron Brago, anybody else that's built on defense, Rosin Scarhide. You'll notice I have a lot of defensive champs built because I love being able to build the defense stats. It's very easy to build these champions. Take a look at his masteries real quick, kind of show you how I do have him built. This will kind of play into where I use him again. You can see here down the offense tree, you basically just took the basic crit rate and crit damage. We got single out, got bring it down, and then methodical. Now you'll notice I did not take a level 6 mastery in the offense tree, and I'll tell you about that here in just a second. We get his speed going up a little faster for whenever he kills someone. And then we've got Cycle of Violence, chancing to decrease the cooldown. We can get that A2 back a little bit faster, which is pretty cool. And then over on the support tree, we've got accuracy. Accuracy when he has no skills on cooldown. This is mainly to help out a little bit in arena when he goes first. Heals him by 10%. Just some basic stuff here. Increases accuracy for each enemy alive. We've got Lore of Steel, and then we took Sniper, And then we also did take Master Hexer, and then finally we did take Eagle Eye to get an extra 50 accuracy. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about now. Let's go into how I have him built. You'll notice that he, number one, is very fast. He's one of my fastest champions. Right at, let's see, he's at 243 speed with Arbiter Speed Aura in the arena. This is right around 275. So he usually goes right after my Arbiter. Very rarely gets cut in. Again, I'm not a pro arena player. I'm usually top high gold 4 finish each week, and this, having him this fast usually works pretty well. Run into some problems now and then, but for the most part I don't usually get cut in with him before he can throw out his A2. Now his other big stat you'll notice is 525 accuracy. Higher level of gold 4, you're going up against a lot of very heavy resist champions. You're going to see a lot of Duchess, a lot of Siphi, and they're going to be built with high resistance, so they cannot get debuffed. But if you have pretty high accuracy, you can sometimes still land those debuffs. And if you're able to put block buffs on those characters, it's absolutely amazing. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So Norog and Madame Saris are actually my two highest built accuracy champions. Both of them are over 500 accuracy, as you'll kind of see here when we get into some of the arena and how I was able to get that. We actually do have 2 perception pieces on here. Most of these are going to have accuracy or speed rolls. That's kind of what we went for on him. We didn't really build him to do damage. He can do quite a lot of damage, actually, if you do build him with 100% crit rate, throw a bunch of crit damage on him and build up his defense. So there is that to consider as well if you want to use him not in the arena, but in arena I mainly use him as a debuffer. And you can see here we haven't even rolled up his shield yet all the way. But you can see we got defense percent on the gloves. We just actually were going for whatever we could roll high accuracy with some speed on. Do have an accuracy chest on him with a pretty decent speed roll. And then we have a pair of speed boots on him that also rolled a fairly decent accuracy. His accessories are not amazing. We've got him in HP here with a defense percent. We've got him in a not even rolled up amulet that hit accuracy once, so got a decent amount there. And we do have an accuracy banner with a little bit of speed there at the end. That's how we were able to hit that accuracy. The gear is not great. It's not amazing. And then we are also getting 80 accuracy from our Great Hall, which we will take a look at here in a minute. And disclaimer, I always like to say, I am not an in-game player. I'm more of a mid to early late game player in this game. So that's kind of why I like to showcase some of my champions. They're not always built the best. They don't always have the best gear. So it's a little bit of a better indicator for someone if you're coming up through the game to play. I don't have all the best gear and stuff to throw on them, so you'll be able to see the results they're able to get, even though that is the case. So that's a look at Norog, his kit and his gear we have on him. And then again, I always like to show you guys my Great Hall, so you can kind of see how that is affecting us. He is a magic champion, so you can see there we don't really even have HP or defense built up that much. We do have attack and crit damage. That's mainly for clan boss to help out Seeker. We don't have really any resistance, but we do have accuracy at 10 out of 10. This was my first 10 out of 10 in the Great Hall to finish the Arbiter missions. So you can kind of see where we are there, and we're also going to get our bonuses from being in Gold 4. We're about the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. We're at 3368. I think top end is about 3600 right now. So we're going to be right around in the middle of Gold 4 when we go through the arena here in just a minute and go through some matches. So let's go ahead and head over there. We'll go to the arena. We'll get a couple matches in. You guys will be able to see exactly what Norog is able to do in the arena, and then after that we'll go through a couple of dungeons and kind of see what else he is able to do. Alright guys, so here we are in the arena with Norog and the rest of our arena team. Just going to show off some of his skills here in a couple of matches as we go through here. Now this first match is just kind of against the run-of-the-mill team with a Torment. I like to kind of pick on Torment teams whenever I'm running Norog and Dark Elaine, given that they are pretty solid counters to him. So this first one here, not really too much of a struggle. And you can see there Norog, it places that block cooldown skills when he uses that A1. Of course, we're here mainly to see his block buffs on his attack all enemies on his A2, which is really his most valuable skill when we get into the arena. I believe we're in somewhere between 3200 and 3300. This is kind of midweek Gold 4 here. And again, we got another Torment team here. We're going to initially, of course, get Dark Elaine's passive kicking in right away. Norog's going to come in here with his block buffs on the AoE. So that's basically going to ensure no one on this enemy team can put up any buffs at all. Torment, of course, will get the revive, but he's really not too bad to deal with by himself. Again, we hit the block cooldown skills. Now remember, our Norog is running over 500 accuracy, which usually is pretty good, even toward the upper end of gold. 4, once you start getting a little higher, you'll need a lot more than that to get through some of these teams. As you'll see coming up, we kind of wanted to go against teams that have a lot of good buffs to see what we could block. This team, unfortunately, their rush card the tower was a little too fast, so he did get his block damage buff up before we could block it. However, we still are able to block buffs on everyone except for Skullord Vargal on the left there. Now, the reason I went after this team is because Skullord is a very high resistance champion usually, and you can see there he did manage to resist the block buffs, but I just kind of wanted to test our team out here to see how they could handle him. And again, a very high resistance champion there, even with Norog's 500 plus accuracy. He was able to resist that block buffs on the AoE, but still pretty easy fight here for the most part. We just have to take out this Arbiter, and that's kind of the other cool thing about his kit. You see there we keep putting the block cooldown skills on the enemy Arbiter, which means she's not able to use her res ability, so she can't bring back the rest of her team. As you see there, we actually brought Dark Elaine back, but we continue to keep this block cooldown skills on the enemy Arbiter, so she's not able to revive and bring back the Rosh card and the Foley, which could be a big problem for us if she was able to do that. So that's one of the other little bits of utility that Norog can bring to you in the arena, and you're going to see that happen throughout some of these arena matches. We managed to take down most of their team. Our Dark Lane did take another nap, but we'll bring her back here in a little bit. And again, some of these matches in Gold 4 do get kind of sloppy. It's not just a slam bang and nuke everybody off the map like you see all of the time. Again, a lot of my content is going to cater more towards mid-game players and players that aren't going to have like every single meta champion. That's why I kind of like to show these more unique gameplay strategies and things when we get into the arena and other areas of the game. So we just kind of have to sit here and whittle down this Skull Lord until we get him all the way down to 0. Again, there are another block cooldown skills placed on that A1 with Norog. Just an amazing kit that he has for use in so many different places, especially here in the arena. You know, when you're dealing with champions that you want to stop from really doing too much with their own kits. But I think we're able to finish this off here pretty soon, hopefully. There we go. But you can see this team had a very high team power, mainly due to Skullord's resistance. And also, you know, Foley's a fairly good champion. Roshkard the Tower, also a pretty good champion there. So this is kind of a little meme I stuck in here because I actually did come across Ayumi Love. I'm not sure if this is the person that runs their website, but they had their 4 level 1 Bellowers in, so I couldn't resist but throw my level 60 Death Knight in to take them on. A fun video I'm working on with this Death Knight. He's pretty cool. I had to level 60 a Death Knight, of course, 6-star him, and put him in some pretty good gear there. So, but props to Ayumi Love for actually putting in a farmable defense in gold, which kind of allows some other people to go in and get their medals. So here we have a Duchess team. And unfortunately, they were pretty quick, so she's able to get her buffs off. The main reason we use Norog against the Duchess team is to try to block her from using the big buff that she has. You'll see there, they all pretty much resisted that, so we're going against a very high resistance team. Thankfully, though, my Madame Saris is also over 500 accuracy. She's able to take down all of those buffs. I think this is a pretty sloppy fight, though. They do have a Skull Crown, and she was able to get that unkillable off there, but Arbiter does take it down there, thankfully. But yeah, again, they were all able to resist the block buffs, which is unfortunate. But again, you're going to see here later in this match, this does go on for a little bit of time here. They've also got the Valkyrie there. But we are going to lose our Arbiter quickly, which is unfortunate. But thanks to Norog, we are actually going to wind up blocking a lot of cooldown skills here, I believe. I believe we actually do get a block here, yes, on the Duchess there. So she cannot use her revive to bring back their Arbiter. And then I think between Norog and Madame Saris placing her fears, we're able to pretty much shut this team down for the rest of the go here. We do get a good shot there on Duchess. Duchess is such an annoying champion to deal with. She's just very durable. She's got a lot of really good abilities. But you see there, the buffs were all blocked there. Norog again puts the block cooldown skills. That's just such an amazing A1 ability to have. We take out the Skull Crown. So at this point, it's pretty smooth sailing. We're going to get Madame Saris again there to decrease the defense. Dark Lane will get a pretty big shot in here to take down the Duchess, and now it's just a matter of killing off their Valkyrie, and it's good game. So again, you see there the block cooldown skills helping shut down those revives. Those double revive teams can be real aggravating in the arena. So again, we've got another double revive team here with Syl of the Drakes and the Duchess again. So Norog's going to come out here. He is going to land the block buffs on 3 champions. Unfortunately, Duchess again is able to resist it. So again, she's a very high resistance champion usually, and she's got a lot of annoying abilities that you have to kind of deal with there. But you can see there, she tried to use her one ability where she puts all those buffs on her team, and it was completely blocked by Norog's A2. So just an amazing ability there that hits all the enemies, especially when you have a good accuracy number. So they're still under block buffs. We're going to get, she blocked it again there. She resisted. So Santa was able to get his unkillable up, but it only went on to the Duchess due to us having that block buffs up on everybody else. So again, kind of a tough fight. This one goes on for a little while. Now we are able to land the block cooldown skills there on the Duchess, which is pretty good. Madame Ceres is going to rip all those buffs off of their team. And then we are going to try to go after one of the revivers here. We've got to have to get rid of both of these revivers before we can really do anything. But again, this is not meant to be a super fast, like, nuke everybody off the map. This is kind of just to show Norog's skills as they are in action here. So you see we killed off Syl of the Drake, so they lose one of the revivers. Now we're going to just continually go after the Duchess and try to keep that block cooldown skills on her. You see we also get the fear placed on her, and that way she cannot use her revive to bring back the Syl, because then you just kind of get into this revolving loop of, you know, each team getting their reviver back, and it's very difficult to win those matches when that is happening. So we're just going to keep using the A1 here and hitting her with that. I believe Santa is going to get an unkillable up on the team, but Madame Ceres will be able to take that right back off of him, so pretty good there. But you can see here, we're mainly just targeting her and trying to keep that block cooldown skills going on Duchess there. So that's pretty much our bread and butter for this fight. Now we do lose Dark Lane again. Again, this is a pretty long fight, you know, with this team, but we're going to be able to bring her back with Arbiter. We'll go ahead and boost the turn meter and the attack. We'll get another block cooldown skills. Again, such a huge A1 there. When you have enough accuracy, we do rip off the unkillable here, and we will eventually be able to finish this one off here, I think. As soon as we can get back around to Dark Lane with her nuke ability. I think she does take everybody out here. Yep, so there you go. Again, kind of a slow, grindy win, but it's a win. And when you're in arena, you're trying to get wins out, especially in Gold 4, you'll kind of take whatever you can get. So we're just kind of showing here that, you know, we're able to use Norog's kit to our advantage. We're able to block the buffs. We're able to put the cooldown skills. Now we kind of tried to do the same thing here. We have a team, this is a long fight, I'm going to warn you ahead of time. They have the Man-Eater, so we want to try to block the unkillable he can put up, which we do. We get the block buffs on everybody there. Now the annoyance here is going to be Krutraxa, because she hits very, very hard, and every time she kills you, she gets to put a revive on death buff on herself. So when we don't have the block buffs up on her, it's going to be kind of tough to keep her down. You see here, we actually do manage to kill the Man-Eater, but Arbiter unfortunately is going to bring him right back into the fight, so that's going to make things kind of annoying there. We do get a block cooldown skills on him there, so he cannot bring up his unkillable. And then we do get a couple debuffs there from Madame. Will be able to take out their Madame Ceres, and now it's a matter of locking down their Arbiter so that she cannot bring back the Madame Ceres. We get the block cooldown skills on her to make sure that does not happen. We get the fear on her as well. We'll go ahead and bring back Dark Lane. Now, I do believe at one point we lose most of our team here, so this gets to be a very tough fight because of this Krutraxa. You can see there she again blocks our debuff, so she's very high resistance. You know, we've got 500 plus accuracy on 2 of these champions, so being able to resist our buffs at this stage is pretty amazing. So I think we do try to take out Arbiter here, so we don't have to worry about the revive. We do unfortunately lose 2 champions because that's just what Krutraxa can do. She's a very powerful champion in the arena and in many other areas of the game. She's got that revive on death up, unfortunately. She will take out our Norog. Now, thankfully, our Arbiter here is fairly durable, so she's able to survive long enough to revive the whole team, which is great. We get them back in. We can boost the turn meter. Krutraxa, unfortunately, does immediately kill our Dark Lane, so we'll have to wait through another cycle to get our revive back, and now it's just going to be a matter of getting rid of those unkillable buffs. We will try to take out this Man-Eater. Madame Ceres is going to take away those buffs. Krutraxa Kratraxa again, being annoying. She kills Madam, she gets that revive on death buff again, so it's just really aggravating having to deal with that. But Norog here is going to use his AoE. He's going to take out Maneater, and Kratraxa will come back, but we are going to go ahead and try to hit her again. We do not get the block cooldown skills. Unfortunately, she's able to kill our Norog, and we have to revive the entire team once more. And here we go again. We're going to kill her for like the 4th time. Take her out. I think right here we're going to get her. She will revive herself. And Dark Lane's finally had enough here, so we're going to put this one to bed. So there you go. Hopefully that was a good indication for you of just what Norog can do in the arena with his kit. It's very amazing how he can shut teams down, shut down those revives, shut down those important cooldown skills with his A1, and also block those buffs on his A2. Alright guys, so you got a chance to see Norog there in action in the arena. Pretty good showcase, I think, for what he's able to do. Like I always say, I'm not a great arena player. I don't claim to be. I think I do fairly well for my account, and it's kind of cool to be able to show off his block buffs, his block cooldown skills. You're able to see just how effective he is, especially at going against some of those double revive teams where he's just continually putting their cooldowns on block so they can't use them. Just the ability to take away some of those abilities from those champions is absolutely amazing for him. So we've seen him there in the arena. He's not much of a campaign farmer. He can be with his A2. Like I said, if you build him with crit rate, he can do a pretty good amount of damage. But he's mainly going to be someone you're going to use in dungeon waves. You can use him in any of the keeps. The only 2 areas I really would not use him in would be the Spider's Den. He's got a little bit of utility there, but there's much better champions to use, especially since he only has 1 AoE he could use against the spiders. And Fire Knight Castle, he really can't do much there. He can shut down the waves, but it's like when you get to the Fire Knight, you really need those multi-hitters to do a lot better. So not great there, but 2 dungeons you can use him in where he's pretty solid are the Dragon and in the Ice Golem. So let's go ahead and jump in here to Dragon 16, and we've kind of got this weird team. I just threw this together. I could put a much better team in, but I kind of like to showcase more common champions I guess you guys might have. I don't want to put in a whole bunch of epics and legendaries that people may not have yet. So we're just going to go ahead and run this team, because this also gives me a chance to show off one of the best rare champions of the game in Diabolist. Now granted, she's only level 50 here, so she may have some struggles, but you can see right off the bat we put up a block buffs for 2 and 3 turns on some of these champions that were going against these mobs in Dragon 20. Hit very, very hard. So being able to shut them down. We've also got some stun utility from Syl, and I also do have Diabolist and a stun set for when she uses her AoE. So we're going through here, you see we're just cycling through all our abilities. We're keeping block buffs up, we're blocking cooldowns, and these guys just can't even really get a turn. They can't use any of their abilities, they can't buff themselves. So this is pretty good. It prevents that Apothecary from boosting their speed. It's just you get a ton of utility out of this champion. You see there, he leads off again with that. Gets all the block buffs up, so absolutely amazing champion to use in these dungeon waves, blocking those cooldown skills, preventing anybody from getting any buffs at all. So it's pretty awesome. Now, again, I haven't built 500 plus accuracy, which if you're going to use him in these dungeons, you 200, 220, you'll be fine. If you want to use him in Doom Tower, it's probably going to be a little bit more. You want to probably at least 300, close to 400. If you're going to use him in hard Doom Tower, then probably 400 plus. Kind of similar to Gold 4 Arena, just because hard Doom Tower, the resistance on some of the bosses and champions is quite a bit. Now you can see there he can even block buffs on the Dragon. I don't think the cooldown skills will apply here. I never see it pop up in the debuff bar, so not really sure that's going to be helpful here, but he can at least block buffs there. But again, you're really using him just to get through the dungeon waves. I say a lot of the times when you get to level 20 dungeons, especially Fire Knight, especially Dragon, the waves are actually usually going to be harder than the final boss. So anything you could do to kind of alleviate the struggle getting through those waves is going to be really, really good for you. And then talk a little bit about Diabolist here too, because she's one of my favorite rare champions. I know that everyone loves Apothecary. That's all you hear about early games. Like, oh, I gotta get an Apothecary. I gotta get an Apothecary. It drives me crazy sometimes. It's not that I don't like Apothecary. It's just that I think he's one of the most overrated and overhyped champions in this game. It's not that he's a bad champion. It's just that you literally can farm a Diabolist within your first week of the game, and she's pretty much able to do the exact same thing he can do, just on different abilities. Now, She doesn't heal, though. That's one thing against her, but she actually does reduce turn meter on one of her abilities, which is something that he does not do. So that's actually, in my opinion, a little bit better. And you have a lot of utility with how you can build her, especially early for Arena. She can use her AoE to boost your team's speed. She's one of the fastest, if not the fastest, rare champion in the game. I believe at level 60, her base speed is like 107. Even at level 50, her base speed is 105, so incredibly fast champion. You put her in a speed set. I think right now I have her in a stun set right now, so when she uses that AoE of hers, she can actually apply stun to the enemies. And then I have her also in a speed set, 2-piece speed set. So I think she's well over 200 speed just using some basic gear I had that I threw on her for this video, because I actually was in the process of building her just using books from farming 12.3 and whatnot. So, but Dragon Run's going on a little long here. This is not to show you a super fast run again. You know, we kind of just threw these champs in here. We kind of wanted to just showcase Norog on those dungeon waves. And, you know, we're going to wind up winning this. Cold Heart's the one doing most of the damage here. Her and Syl the Drakes will probably bring this home for us. But, again, I kind of wanted to showcase this with pretty common champions that most of you guys will probably have, depending on how long you played the game. And there you go. Pretty easy, very slow, but, you know, we got through the waves very quickly. The waves were not a problem, and they are usually the biggest issue when you do these dungeons. So we only got a 5-star. I'm going to sell that immediately. All right, so there you go. So there's Dragon 20. Now let's go over to Ice Golem, and we can also run Ice Golem 20 here. Now the cool thing here is Norog is actually a positive affinity, and again we're going to just throw together a team here that's going to use champions that everybody can get. We've got Syl in there, Log and Reward, Dark Elaine, Log and Reward, normal Elaine, starter champion, and then Diabolist again. Even though she's level 50, we're going to bring her along in this level 20 dungeon. Now, where Norog really shines in the Ice Golem is going to be that second wave when you have to deal with the Terror Beasts. Because usually when they get a turn, they put up the reflect damage on themselves. And with him, usually you can just go right through that wave. You don't even have to worry about it. You can see again, here we go. He's already putting out the block buffs 2 and 3 turns, depending on if we hit any of our masteries to get those extended. And really, it's not going to be an issue to get through any of these waves, just based on how many debuffs we have and how much crowd control we have between Norog, Syl the Drakes, and even Diabolist with her stun set placed on her. So again, block cooldown skills, block buffs, just being able to shut these waves down so they're not an issue for us. So here we go to the second wave. This is usually a very difficult wave. We've got the block buffs out already, so we're not really going to have to worry about that reflect damage. We managed to stun a few people. But with a 3-turn block buffs on, it's going to be really hard for these Terror Beasts to ever get their reflect damage going, because Norog is going to have he's going to have it back. He's going to have that AoE back before they can get a chance, and he's just going to reapply it. So, and of course, if you want, you can click on those Terror Beasts to go ahead and kill them off before they get out of that debuff, but most likely it's not going to be an issue. And we're just, again, going to coast right through this second wave. No problem at all. We're going to not even have to worry about the reflect damage. So, and again, this is just to show you how effective he is in these dungeon waves. We're going to get here to the Ice Golem, and this is going to be a difficult fight because, again, we don't have a lot of damage. Like I said, this is to show you guys that you can still complete these level 20 dungeons, using whatever champions you want to put, depending on how they're built. I could definitely throw in a more, built-up team and get this done in a minute or two, but again, this is kind of to show how effective they can be. And we'll see how long this starts taking. If it gets to be too long, they just kind of fast forward through to the end. I don't want to make you guys sit here for a long time and watch 6 minutes worth of Ice Golem, because this dungeon can go on for quite a while. But again, we got Diabolist near level 50. That's kind of, again, just to kind of show some of her value she can bring. And Dark Elaine is a great champion to use here against the Ice Golem, given her passive that she has. And she and Norog are two of my most used champions on this account. Like I showed you in Arena, we use the two of them against Torment teams quite a bit, and generally just in Arena in general, we have both of them in there quite a bit. So looks like this is going to take a little bit of time, so let me go ahead and fast forward to the end of this, and then we'll get back into the overview of Norog. Oh, and we actually, what happened there? We got destroyed somehow. Alright, let's go back. Let's replay this again, and I'll blow through that real quick. They should not have a problem finishing this, so give me just 1 second, guys. Alright guys, it went a little bit better that time. As you can see there, it was a bit of a long battle there, which is why I did not want to make you guys sit through that entire thing. But you can see the second time they were able to pretty easily complete stage 20. And again, this is not really about completing the dungeon. It was just to kind of show Norog's effectiveness against the mobs that are in these level 20 dungeons. So you can certainly use him to get the cat off the desk here. You can certainly use him to shut down those terror beasts in wave 2. And again, I could put him with a bunch of other champions and this would be a minute 30 minute run pretty easily, but you know, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is just to really show his effectiveness against these dungeon mobs. Let's go ahead and sell this 5-star helmet here. But yeah, so that's kind of a look at Norog there in the Ice Golem and also in the Dragon's dungeon. We could run him into keeps as well, but you know, there's really not too much point there. One of the other areas you can use him in that he's very effective is in Doom Tower. Again, it's going against the waves, shutting down their cooldowns, blocking those buffs. Actually really cool to pair him with an Elgato, because if you have him and Elgato together, the enemy team's just never going to get to use their cooldowns given all the duplicate enemies that you wind up facing in the Doom Tower. So he's very effective there as well. You just kind of have to watch the affinity sometime on the enemies you are going up against. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Just wanted to highlight who I think is one of the better legendary champions in the game. Hope you guys really found this enjoyable. Hope you enjoyed the arena as well as the dungeons that we did take him in. And again, one last glance at the build here if you wanted to see again, you know, we have him built very fast with a lot of accuracy, mainly as that debuffer. We want him to be hitting that A1 and then hitting that A2, just making sure the enemy is never going to be able to use their cooldowns. They're never going to be able to get buffs on themselves. It just makes it so much easier to deal with some of the waves that are in the game, especially when you get into some of those more difficult dungeons there. So anyways, guys, that's going to be a champion spotlight on the Skinwalker Legendary Norog. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll do my best to answer those as soon as I can. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you again next time.